In this video I'm talking about a concept, the schema. The schema is a cultural shortcut that you learned in your life, in early life, but also in the whole life, that we get from the culture. It helps us to perceive the world is a pre-packaged perception and a pre-packaged action guideline how to behave. So let's say that you live in Europe and you go into a church, a Christian church. So what you perceive, it's already learned by culture, but what is more interesting is about the behavior. So you don't learn how to behave at that moment, observing the people, because you've already been there many times, and you learn that, let's say, if you go into a Catholic church, you take off your hat. But if you go to a synagogue, a Jewish church, then you put on a kind of hat. So this is the culture. So we learn the culture, and then through the culture we will see things. So when you enter, let's say, a restaurant, you know what is important. So this is about food and sitting and maybe the atmosphere, the lighting. And maybe you ignore a lot of other things that the culture taught you to ignore. And then you have the schema for how to behave. So you will not dance on the table, probably. You will go there, find a place, or wait somebody to show your seat. You order the food. So everything is kind of standardized. So schema is the standard of a specific thing in a specific culture. And we learn this usually automatically, subconsciously. When we grew up in a culture, we just observe, and it's so obvious. So when you go to a restaurant, you know how to behave. You know what to see. You will perceive, you will look for the menu, and you look for the table that enough people can sit with your company. Okay, so it's a kind of standardized way of perceiving the world and acting. The benefit of schema is that you save mental energy and time. You don't have to process all the information and make decisions about how to behave, because you have this standardized way of behaving. And also the waiters in a restaurant, they have this standardized behavior. So the two sides, the customers, the guests of the restaurant, and the waiters, they have the standardized routine, so they don't have to really understand what's going on. They just play this script in their minds, how they behave, so it's standardized. And we have this, every aspect of the life. If two people meet, let's say two men, they shake hands, they introduce their names, and they don't have to think what to do. So schematas are standards in the culture that when you know it, then you make everything smooth, polite, use the way how things work, understand this, and then you don't have to waste your time to figure out what's going on, and you don't have to make decision moment by moment how to behave. You just run this program. So this is the program in your mind. And when other people have the same program, because you are the member of the same culture, then you are just running the same program that were created during long time and refined, and now in this moment, in your life, in this history, we use these cultural programs that how to go to a restaurant, how to behave as a waiter or waitress and the customer as a guest. So you both sides playing this, the same as a job interview or in a dating situation. So we run this kind of programs all the time, and this makes our lives easy. Avoid conflicts, avoid waste of time, avoid thinking what to do. But it also keeps us in a certain way, so it can have a negative impact in a sense that everything is so routine and you will not perceive new elements because you learned what to see. Let's say if you go to a restaurant, into the cinema, it's something that you may focus on things that you are programmed to focus on, so you can react by the program that you programmed to react, and new things may not really catches your eyes. You will ignore new nuances. So it's a kind of keeping the status quo. Using schemas help you to simplify your life, but it's not very good in a way to see new things, perceive new things, and try different behavior patterns. So it's not very good for innovating, evolving, moving on, finding new things. But it's very good to have a standardized life, and then you make it everything simple, smooth, peaceful, and easier.